Well, joining me live is the Shadow Finance Minister Jane Hume. Jane, good to see you. What do you like in this budget? Anything?
Well, I've got to say, I feel like a lot of Australians that this was a missed opportunity, that after 2 years of Labor, Australians now realise that they are poorer under this government, and this budget was an opportunity to fix that, and I don't think anybody's got any new hope for that. It seems like interest rate drops are still a long way off on the horizon. There are some things we like. There is no doubt about that. There is some money set aside for crisis accommodation for women fleeing domestic violence. There's an extension of a program that we put in place in the coalition that was wraparound services around domestic violence. We do like that. We also like the instant asset write-off. We really do feel that small business needs a help up right now. We're very pleased that that's been extended. The problem is it really isn't enough. It's only back at the levels that we saw prior to the pandemic. And businesses, small businesses in particular, need a helping hand right now. The Cost of Living Committee that I chair has heard from dozens, even hundreds of them right across the country, and they are really struggling, whether it be energy prices or rent, the costs of materials, the cost of transport. All of that is pushing prices up, but they're feeling like that they can't cut their margins, that they have to cut their margins just to keep customers coming through the door.
What about the energy relief? $300 for every single household. I mean, if Labor, if I could perhaps preempt what you might say here, is why a rich household's getting it. If Labor didn't or went down the means testing path, you'd be sitting here accusing them of class warfare, wouldn't you?
Well, they went down the means testing path with the last round of energy relief. So I'm still scratching my head as to why they couldn't do that this time around.
Because economy-wide it has a bigger disinflationary effect, doesn't it?
Well, I think that might be the objective, maybe that, or it's more appealing for your re-election prospects. But it does seem very strange that somebody, say, for instance, I mean, what if I've got a holiday home? Do I get 2 lots of energy relief? I don't think anybody's considered that. A household gets $600 rather than $300.
Yeah, you do, but there's always going to be these things at the fringes, just like people saying today that Gina Rinehart's also going to get $300 off her power bill. I mean, this is our money.
Well, there is no way we're going to stand in between Australians who are really doing it tough getting some energy bill relief.
So you grumble about it, but you'll pass it through the
Well, it wouldn't be the way that we would have done it. That's certainly the case. But I do think that Australians are crying out for help, and we won't stand in the way of that happening. But let's face it, it's a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. Australians have gone backwards. They've seen their real disposable income drop by around 7.5%. If you're a family with a mortgage, you probably paid about $35,000 more on that mortgage just in the last couple of years than you would have 2 years ago. So these families are really doing it tough. And as I said, that Cost of Living Committee, we've seen people come to us, speak to us, submit to that committee that have told us that they're lining up outside food bank. There might be people that have 2 incomes in a family. There might be people that have mortgages, and they're crying out for help with food relief. Now, that's outrageous. So I know that what I'm going to do with my energy bill relief, when my $300 comes through, that will be donated directly to Food Bank, because we know that for every $1 that's donated to Food Bank, they can create 2 meals. So that's 600 meals that I've created with my energy relief.
Okay, if you're talking about this being perhaps a pre-election budget, it means that the opposition would now be getting its ducks in a row shortly. We've also seen in this budget that bracket creep, for the first time, Treasury's really laid it out about how much bracket creep on income taxes goes into benefits government budgets. I mean, that damages the economy, we know that, but it benefits government budgets. Your original stage 3 tax cuts were designed to tackle bracket creep in a way, and it was at the higher end, and that's where all the damage is done, essentially. Will you relook at that?
So let me first say that, yes, the opposition is getting its ducks in a row, but we've been doing that from day one of opposition. In fact, you'll recall that we announced our first policy in opposition about
bigger income tax cut?
About 6 weeks into opposition, which was about allowing pensioners to work a little longer, work an extra day without losing any of their pensions. So we've been getting our policy agenda together from day one. On tax cuts, we have committed to lower and simpler and fairer taxes. Understand, though, that stage 3 tax cuts, as they stood, have been trashed. They've been completely trashed.
I agree. So
and this is the problem. And and that was genuine reform.
But you've got an opportunity now.
That's right. But that was genuine reform, and it was genuine reform that was costed and funded within the budget.
Yeah.
And even
those stage 1 and 2 that we've already seen pass.
That's right. Even when it was costed and when it was done, this government has proved they've got no
So
appetite
will
for
you fix
genuine
it?
tax reform. So we will go to the election with a personal income tax policy that delivers lower, simpler, fairer taxes. I'd love to announce what it is today. I won't be doing that.
Give us a hint, please.
No, I'd love to. Maybe one day, but no,
But
not
will
today.
it tackle bracket creep?
Well, we want to tackle black bracket creep. In fact, that's what the original Stage 3 did. It got rid of one of those, a whole tax bracket had disappeared. That was fantastic because inflation is the ultimate thief in the night. We know it erodes your purchasing power, it eats away at your savings, it reduces your standard of living. And it's bracket creep that have delivered this government the surplus. If anything, Jim Chalmers should know that it isn't from his hard work that he's delivered the surplus. It's because of the hard work of other Australians.
There it is, Jane, my favourite chart in the budget, this Treasury laying out bracket creep and the insidious nature of it. We'll leave it there. We'll see you soon.
Good to see you, Laura.